King Frederick and Queen Mary of Denmark have blown open the palace doors to welcome members of the cultural and artistic community of Denmark. And this is sort of an interesting little bit that I wasn't totally expecting because although we got Mary in a tiara and it was grand, there are some really, really funny and interesting fashion choices among the guests as well. So today we're going to take a look at Queen Mary's dress here, one that you might actually be rather familiar with, and also talking about some of the more peculiar fashion looks there in Denmark for this gala dinner. So we are going to go into this today, guys. But if you haven't been to Royal Fashion News before, hello, my name is Brittany, and this is a channel for all those who have a passion for royal fashion. So if you guys want to hit that subscribe button, that would be absolutely awesome. In addition, because of in honor of Mary's dress, I am wearing a sweater here that I feel like is very reminiscent of her dress. And I also have my Ana Lucia diamonds. I put this ring back on today, my 7-stone eternity band. And so if you're looking for some gorgeous diamond pieces at a fantastic price, Ana Lucia is one of those places. They create lab created diamonds and they're absolutely gorgeous and for an amazing price point. And if you use code ROYAL20, you shall save 20% off your purchase. It is quite amazing. So guys, go ahead and check out the link up above. I would love to have you check them out and let me know what you think. All right, so what was sort of fun about this event is that I have actually been to Christiansborg Palace and actually have been a member at the press at a state event. And so I sort of know how things go with these. And what I found rather interesting is that this is sort of a different setup than what we normally see because the press, and this is largely true for most state events, are on, if you're walking down the hallway, the royals are. So the royals are walking down this way to the end. The press is usually on the right-hand side. And when I was there, that's where we were. We were on the right-hand side. I can show you kind of where I was standing in relation to the royals because obviously being one of the last there, and that was a bit my fault, long story, but press is sort of first come, first serve. I obviously as well didn't really want to step on the toes too much of some of the more professionals, you could say, because it is their job to get good pictures and videos and they are from the country and everything. And so they get priority over what I would get. But this was sort of the fascinating bit here is that they had the press on the opposite side. And so here you see them, they are waiting for the royals right there. And we'll get sort of to the end of this right here because you can only see the back of her at this moment, but you see where they're walking down the hallway there? All right, guys, about where this dude was is where I was standing when I went to the state visit there in Denmark last year. So you got the wall right here. The press was cordoned off down this hallway. And so I was about right there. My video camera was right there. So I thought it was interesting that they decided, number one, to go with sort of a different setup here. And we can watch a little bit of their entry, which is always sort of fun. So this is from Bild Bladet. And their majesties are looking particularly lovely. And you might recognize the dress Mary is wearing. And you are not mistaken because that is the same Jenny Packham dress that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has worn. And ironically as well, I saw this dress on Princess Marie of Denmark when I was there for the state visit in December. Yes, it was a very exciting moment. Very exciting moment, a grand achievement for the channel. But it's sort of funny that Mary has the pink dress, Marie has the green dress, and Catherine owns both dresses. So very popular royal style among ladies, although I will say Mary was actually the first to wear it for her 50th birthday. And she's wearing her Edwardian tiara, one she purchased at auction. It has gold and diamonds and rubies, but it's not super exciting to be quite honest. So I'm like, not really much of a point in getting too excited here. But it's not a surprise that she went with something more laid back because this is obviously a more laid back event because although it is a gala, it's not a state event. But so you see these hallways here. That's where the press was last time. You're in between these big pillars. They walk past you very quickly, and then they go around the corner. So I just want to start off with that real quick because I just think it's sort of interesting if you don't know the logistics of how these things work. The royals are always the last to arrive in order of the highest rank. So the highest rank comes in last, and then everybody else ahead of them comes in first. So this is sort of how state visits always function in case you were just a bit curious. So we will go over Mary's looking full, but let's start off with some of the guests because there are some interesting ensembles. And I was actually able to find out a lot of their names. I was going through Bild Bladet and they were sharing them because unfortunately, it doesn't seem like this event was covered much by any international press, which is a bit of a bummer because that means less pictures I get to look at. So I had to get a lot of these from their website, but I thought it'd be easier to start off with that. So let's begin with this blue ensemble, which actually is quite stunning. And the only thing that ruins it for me, and yes, I know some people won't like this, is her tattoos kind of ruin it for me. But other than that, this is actually a pretty gorgeous ensemble. Apparently, this is rapper Tessa. Now, I don't know if rapper is her first name or her occupation, that I am unsure about. Google Translate was not clear, but this dress was very, very dramatic. I'll insert a picture of her here going in and greeting the king and queen. She looked very Cinderella to me. There she is, and a picture as well. She's almost overdoing the queen here. Is very, very over the top. So I do have to say this is a good look. Again, I'm not so thrilled with the tattoos on the chest. Sort of feels like that doesn't totally work with the dress, but maybe that's just me. But overall, I think it was a very classy ensemble, I've got to say. Not sure why I included this picture because I didn't really figure out who this was, but this feels very casual. And yeah, so I'm not really all that impressed with that particular look. Next, we have just a little bit more again, looking at the big ball gown. We also had this one back here, which is quite lovely. But the blue, I just feel like sort of stole my eye in many ways. It just does. It seems a little much, but at the same time, oh, the opera gloves and everything. There's something sort of fantastical about it. There she is greeting someone. And then we have her friend here, and she's greeting Medina. So that is the woman wearing the other dress there. Not sure if I totally like that one either, but it is sort of an interesting look. But at the same time, a little because you can actually see down there at the very bottom. So it's kind of sheer down here towards the bottom. She is also carrying a Valentino clutch, which is very, very apparent. But I will have to say, when you see this dress from the neck up, it actually looks quite stunning. So it is sort of backless there, and it has some sheer fabric here. So not sure I totally love it, but when I see it like this, I actually think it's really incredible. So I'm almost kind of bummed she sort of did it the other way. So I think this here, if she had kept the back closed and maybe put in a little fabric down below, I think that would have been better in my personal opinion. Because other than that, I do sort of like this look. It's sort of cool, kind of warrior princess. I feel Medina, that's like her name. And I sort of like, I don't know if that's her name or her stage name. I'm not sure. But I kind of like it because I feel like it's Medina, like, oh, I guess I'm thinking Medusa. Never mind. Never mind. Thinking, oh, Greek mythology. I feel a little Greekness here, a little ancient world, but I am mistaken in my assumptions there. So they're having a little chat. And oh, this is the funnest one, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. The gigantic lips. What is this? What is this? And you even feel like I got a picture of her later, guys, and I swear her date even looks really embarrassed. And I don't totally blame him. This is an awful look. It's an awful look. And yeah, it's sort of terrible. 150%. But yeah, so wild. And this is comedian Natasha Brock. And she is wearing this wild iridescent white ruffle dress, I would call it. So you get here from the back. And if you're going to the palace, I just gotta say, do better. Do better. Realize you're a comedian. I realize you're trying to like up your game, but there's ways to be sort of funny and interesting without wearing something so needlessly ugly. Just putting it out there. I feel like for some reason bubble bath is what keeps coming to mind for me. So this was an interesting ensemble. So we got the clomper boots on here, and I don't know what the heck this is. This is a musician named Jade. So I mean, I almost feel like her pants are riding up for something. I don't know. But the black clomper boots, the wet, stringy, I don't get it. I don't get it. And is she adjusting herself? Because I almost feel like her shorts are short. They're riding up on her, and she's like trying to adjust them. I guess she's sort of bowing or curtsying or something, but that's not a very graceful curtsy, I gotta say. Gotta say. So yeah, not very good. And so then we have Natasha here and Medina as well. So yeah, I mean, but this is ugly. This is very, very ugly. I'm sorry. This is just ugly. Oh, so bad. Oh my goodness. Okay. There she is giving her curtsy, and this poor dude. I just feel bad for him. I just feel bad for him. So we do have this other ensemble, which isn't bad, but has sort of an old world feel. It's kind of on. And you do see there Queen Margaretha of Denmark, the former queen, is sitting down and greeting everybody as well. She is very artistic, so it makes sense that she would enjoy being at this gala event that is for the members of the artistic and cultural community there. So we do have, I saw this pregnant woman and I just thought this dress looks so uncomfortable. It sort of like was really, really clingy. And I'm like, oh, this just doesn't look comfortable at all. So next we have, which is very interesting, this is a singer named E.G. So Geegee. And you will notice that she is carrying a pigeon. Now, it's not a real pigeon. I would imagine, I would hope it's a fake pigeon. Not really entirely sure. I always feel like it's kind of harder to make gala looks work with tattoos. Judge me if you will, but I just don't feel like it works quite as well. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. Claymation pigeon. Okie dokie. There she is walking in. So you see her gentleman date there. I think the gloves are a nice touch, I will say. I just think the pigeon, I don't understand. But then again, I don't really know who any of these people are. So to be quite fair, yes. So I am judging, but judging from a place of ignorance. So Danes in the comments below, please let me know what you guys think of some of these looks. And this one just made me laugh because he is literally stepping on her fringe thing. So she's got fringe here. I didn't figure out who this was, but she's got fringe here. I hope to goodness this is like just flesh colored thing underneath here. And she's got red boots, not just like boots, but red thigh high up. Oh, no, they're booties. And then she has red tights up. This look. Oh my goodness. And then he is, because it's everywhere, he is stepping on it and dragging her back, which I think is sort of hysterical. And she's got the arm wrap. I don't understand. These are just, guys, these are just some interesting looks here. Now, somebody went really old school and did the medieval thing, no, I would say this is like Renaissance, Rococo. So this actually is not bad. Like, I totally get it. But what ruins it for me is the bag. The bag does not go with the dress at all. There's nothing, they don't go together. So we have fringe cowboy here and Rococo. I don't know where the constellation of these two things are, but apparently, yeah, they're there. And then we also have another look at the pregnant woman. I just think this looks really uncomfortable and she looks uncomfortable. So, I mean, I get it. I don't know, just not a huge fan. And then we have, this is one of the few looks I did like. So we got a bit of a corset here, sort of a black overlay on top of it's not chiffon, more of like a netting style fabric, I would guess. Blanking on what that's called, so you'll have to forgive me. But not really a fan of his shoes, but I think she overall looks great. She is an actress and her name is May Lifshitz. May Lifshitz? I'm probably saying that wrong, but again, it sounds probably like a curse and it is not. Oh, and the woman who is pregnant, her name is Marie Morch Pedersen, and she is a partner of a rower, which is this gentleman right here. And that's how they translated it. If he's like an actor or something else, rower, I would imagine is like an Olympian, which doesn't seem to fit here. So maybe the translation's wrong. I'm not sure. He just looks to me severely uncomfortable. He just looks really uncomfortable. I do feel bad for him. But guys, I want to say again, when I was there in Denmark, I'll show you guys a picture. So I saw these guys and I was standing and watching these guys the entire time. I have a bunch of pictures of them, to be quite honest, because I was trying to adjust things and everything. And so the royals come down the hall, they stand right there, and then they walk down to the gala area. So this is where I would see them. I got a shorter time with them, but I also didn't have a ton of competition, which was really, really awesome. I actually liked sort of that spot. If I went to Denmark again, I wouldn't mind having that spot. To me, I mean, I would like to have the long hallway to get 12 pictures. I mean, I still got 12 pictures, but to get like 24 to 36, 50 pictures instead of the smaller amount I got because they walk by so fast. But giant lips. Why the giant lips? And it looks like she's not wearing a bra, so her boobs look saggy. Oh my gosh. So not all with the, I could say eternally fashionable there for this Danish gala with members of the artistic community there. I mean, obviously there are artistes, so we will have some interesting interpretations. I just think this particular, one of the worst things I've seen. Just gonna say it right now, giant lips, ugly dress, one of the worst things I've seen. But let's get to the royals. All right, guys. So we have Queen Mary here looking totally fabulous in this Jenny Packham dress. Yes, you will remember Catherine owns this exact same dress. She debuted it at the wedding to Crown Prince Hussein of Jordan, and then she wore it for a diplomatic reception later that year, I believe, because that was 2023. So, yeah, no, maybe she wore it in 2022. I can't remember. Either way, Catherine wore this after Mary, because Mary debuted this as part of her 50th birthday celebrations, and she looked fabulous in a series of portraits with it. And she paired it with, again, her Edwardian tiara she purchased at auction, because unfortunately in Denmark, there's just not that many tiaras to choose from. You used to have a pretty big collection, but Queen Ingrid did something that I think is very unfortunate, is that she divided the tiaras amongst her daughters. And the unfortunate thing is that means that there are fewer in the main line of the family, and the Greeks were deposed. So they don't really have much use to wearing them. They come to events in Denmark, but I think at least one of the tiaras that was given to Queen Anne Marie should be given back to Denmark after she passes, or the family should give it back at some point, because it just makes sense for it to actually be in Denmark. And then we have here wearing, it looks like we can see it in some other pictures I'll show you here. She's wearing satin shoes that I believe are probably Prada, would be my guess. And then she has matching earrings for this tiara. This tiara was actually sort of not in great shape when she purchased it, so she had to redo it a bit, but she only paid like $9,000 for it. I was like, if I can get a tiara for $9,000 from the Edwardian area, and then when I get the chance and the money to put the stones back in, I would 100% do that. So if anybody sees an auction or hears about an auction where that's an option, I'm in. And we do have some more pictures as well. And I know maybe not everybody's a fan of this format, but I feel like it's an easy way to get a bunch of pictures seen at the same time. So we do have Queen Mary and Frederick here looking absolutely fantastic. And that gown, guys, is just gorgeous. Remember, I saw this on Princess Marie of Denmark in December. Now, what's really challenging is they walk by so fast, like you can't totally appreciate the look. So I just do think it's an incredible dress. I actually almost bought a used one from the Real, and I need to get back on my Real search and keep an eye out on this dress, because I don't want to pay retail for it, but I would love to have it. She's wearing also here a giant ring, and that is not her wedding ring. So I wonder if it's part of the crown jewel collection. She recently redid the crown jewels and added a tiara into the mix by utilizing big stones from it wasn't really a necklace. It was something that's supposed to go around the waist. So she that made it amazing. But this is a great look here. I think the tiara goes well with the dress. Would I've liked something maybe a bit more substantial? Sure. But I'm glad she got a tiara, another one that she can like leave to her daughters. I feel like that's pretty nice. So there they are having a good laugh. And then you got Queen Margrethe there sitting off to the sideline there. And she is wearing the palmette tiara. So there is Queen Mary arriving amongst the crowd, or the happy royal couple. And they are there to interact again with members of the community. And we do have, again, maybe she's looking a little skeptical at him, about to laugh or something. I wonder if she's wearing like Pillow Talk, the lip color. Like that lip color on her. Looks really good. So we have, this is the woman with the backless dress. We call it Medina, who we talked about earlier. She's looking good there. Mary's looking pretty good here as well from what we can see. And then here's them arriving. Again, guys, I got very similar pictures from a very similar angle. And I feel like my colors were maybe a bit better because it doesn't look like they have a flash. And so you can see her shoes are satin. I'm pretty sure she owns a pair of Prada pumps that are satin like that. So we do have that. Them walking down the hallway. Oh, that gown is just so gorgeous, man. Oh, it just moves so well. It moves so well. I'm really hoping we get some different pictures, because I have to say, guys, the quality here, I had to get screenshots from Build Blot It, but I even feel like the screenshot pictures weren't all that good. So that is a little disappointing, guys. But I do have to say, absolutely love the video the Palace did of this event, which is really incredible. It's awesome. So let's watch it. So you can see kind of I could see one of the guys with the cranes arriving and everything. So it says here, Their Majesties the King and Queen are this evening the hosts of an arts and cultural evening. Companies where the invitees were engaged in art and culture have traces back to Christian VIII's time, when the king, owing to his great interest in art, culture, and science, invited to party at the palace. Throughout history, the royal house has had a tradition of inviting different actors in the society to party at the palace. At the evening parties, guests are invited to dinner as well as entertainment in the Knights Hall at Christiansborg Castle. So I love Mary walking up the stairs. Sorry, I can't. Oh, love that look of her, the gown and the sparkle. Don't you love it? She's looking dapper as well. So liking the music here as well. But yeah, loving Mary's look right here in the behind the scenes thing. You got the lights here to take pictures. That's kind of awesome. So I just think this music is very fun. I mean, obviously it's classic as well, but it's fun. And I love, guys, how they have the crown come up. I just think that's a brilliant touch. I love it. Just got to say, absolutely love it. Need to get this a like because I haven't done that yet. I feel like this is a really, really amazing event. And it's so cool to see the king and queen bring it back. Apparently, I think the last one, maybe the palace held, was either 2016 or 2018, somewhere around that time. And Queen Marguerite is a great supporter of the arts. So I'm sure this meant a lot to her. And I'm glad she was able to attend, the Queen Emeritus, as you could say. So, guys, let me know what you think. What were your favorite and worst looks? Because obviously, Queen Mary looked stunning, but some of the other ones, not so much. And before we leave, let's just go ahead and once again watch the lovely royals arriving, because that is always so, 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 so fun. Now, I don't know about you, but I want somebody standing at a door waiting to open it for me. There is Her Majesty looking absolutely gorgeous. Maybe taking her a little bit longer to get down the hallway there, but she's looking absolutely fab. So it's usually her sister is able to accompany her. So a little surprised that we didn't get that today, but I'm sure again, she was absolutely thrilled to death to be there and see everybody. And I like, you can see the guy, he's watching through the peephole just to, there we go. So they can open the doors perfectly. And I have been in that hallway. You actually enter through that hallway there. And I had to go through a security thing there in case you're curious. So the good look here at Mary's dress and Frederick walking in brings back very fond memories for me because it was a very cool experience. Gotta say, it was a very, very cool experience. So they usually do sort of a guard inspection here. So I got to see that during the state visit as well. So in case you're curious what they're doing here. And then they walk down the hall. Such a glamorous, glamorous dress. Well, guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed this look at a night at the palace there in Denmark. Thank you so much for your support here for Royal Fashion News, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye.
We don't count the carats, we count the centuries.